Hey everyone, Pneumato Mystical here. I am going to show you today how to make your own crafting spreadsheet from scratch. The reason why I decided to make this video is because I noticed that a lot of creators on YouTube were selling their spreadsheets, and I am very anti-paywall, so I decided to give you guys the tools to start crafting. I know that a lot of you might be a little intimidated by math and by spreadsheets, so I decided to give you a hand and get you started on your crafting journey. All right, so first thing you got to do is open up either Excel or your own Google Sheets. So here's a blank Google Sheets that I've opened. I just added a little black line here because I'm going to show you why this is. I'm going to show you the reason why. So in this blank spreadsheets, if you haven't used Excel or Google Sheets, spreadsheets are essentially just a table in which you can input values, texts, or formulas. But to keep this video short, let's get to it. So on the left hand of this black column here, I'm going to put all the fields that we're going to manually put in for every item that we want to craft. And on the right side, we're going to have our formulas that we shouldn't need to touch at all, unless you know what you're doing, okay? So first, we're gonna, of course, put in the item name that we want to craft, the city we're crafting it in, the size of the batch of the item. So this is important for potions and for food, not important for equipment, because every time you craft an equipment, it's a one item that comes out. We're gonna put in our item value. To check the item value, which is just something that is in game, you're going to open that item. So for example, if we go here on, I'm going to show you how to craft a Hellfire Potion tier 6. And you click on it, there's the item value there, so 336. So let's start filling out these fields actually for the Hellfire. So let's say Hellfire T6. We're going to do this in Limerick, that's where my character is. Every time you craft an artifact potion, it's a batch size of 10. Now, this is going to be the store fee that is set by players. I know for a fact out here that the cheapest price for making potions is, let's take a look. So if you open the Limerick map, here's the potion stores. We have 530, 682. This is 520 here. You can see there the usage fee per 100 injection is 520. Okay, so let's go back to the market here. I'm going to put in 520 here for the store fee. Now we're going to talk about material costs, which do not include artifacts, because this is going to be separate artifact. Then we're going to look up the market prices that they're currently going for. We're going to talk about daily bonuses in a second, and then the city bonus, and then now the sales order tax. Okay, so the cost of materials. I like to calculate cost of materials using this website here, the Albion Online 2D. I do not use the craft planner for this part because the craft planner already uses or does some math on the resource return rate for when you're crafting. So this guy gives you the raw value for materials. So let's look up here our Hellfire Potion and pull the market prices for Limerick. If these prices do not completely autofill, you can always put them in yourself. So let's say, let's get this cost. So this is 31,000 for materials. You can see that the artifact doesn't have a cost here, so we can look it up. And the artifact for this potion is called the Fine Imp Horn, level tier 5. And you can see that for sale orders, they're going for 68 or so, but for buy orders, they're going for about 40. And you can see that they're actually selling occasionally for 40. So let's put in this value here for 4236 or so. Then we're going to, and of course, there's a buy order tax here, but we're not going to put in into the spreadsheet. It gets a little complicated. So now let's check how much they're going for, the Hellfire potions. They're going for about 11,346. So for 6. There just happens to be a daily bonus today for potions, but they're really rare. So let's just put it in. Limers has no city bonuses for potion production, but Brazilian does. This would be a 15 if this was in Brazilian. And now the sales order tax, if you do not have premium, this is 8 or so, because it's 4% for the sale order and 2.7% for the setup fee. Okay, so these are all the values that you're going to be putting in for the items that you want to craft. Okay, and on the right side here, we're going to be putting in our formulas that shouldn't change from item to item. So the first thing you need to do is the store costs or the production cost. Let's call it this, production cost. So this guy is basically how much it's going to cost at the store to calculate this. So I found this at a Reddit post somewhere sometime in the past, and then it actually really works. So I think somebody did the math reversely that the game uses for this. So it's just the item value times a 11.25% fraction times the store fee that the players set times a 10% over that. And this will give us the production cost for each batch of this potion. Now let's calculate the final resource return rate, including the daily bonus, the city bonus. So this will be following math. So it's 100% times the whole minus 100 divided by 100 plus the daily bonus plus the city bonus plus 18, which is the base for every city. If you don't have any daily bonus or city bonus, this is the resource return rate at a 0 bonus. And then should get the final resource return rate for this city. They usually come in just one decimal place like this or so. Or is it capped like this? Remember? Okay, so that's the final resource return rate, which is applied over the materials and not the artifacts, never the artifacts. Okay, so now we can calculate the cost to make a batch of Hellfire potions, which will be the cost of the materials times the fraction over the final resource return rate. So from 100 divided by 100 plus our artifact costs plus our production cost at the store. So this is how much it costs to make one single batch of Hellfire potions. Now we can calculate the item cost, which is just this guy divided by the batch size. Easy, right? So this is the price of a single Hellfire potion when we produce it using these values. And then finally, we can calculate our profit margin, which is the whole reason for this video, and the most important number. So now the profit margin is just the current market price. And here we can put in our sales order setup tax, just as an estimate of how much this value is going to take a hit. So, 1 minus this value, 100. And then we can all this. So the sell price times the tax divided by our item cost to produce. And all of this is a fraction that we're going to take from 1. So it's a fraction over 1. So this will be giving us a decimal, and then we can just multiply that by 100 to get the percent profit margin. So you can see that to make Hellfire potions in Limhurst, it would be a pretty good profit margin of about 57% over the production. Okay, so this is to make this potion. So how about we learn how to make a piece of equipment? So I picked semi-randomly here a stalker hood. So if you want to start getting into crafting stalker hoods, you can start with tier 4.2, for example. And I know that these guys have a city production bonus in Limmer, so a pretty good place to make them. There's no daily bonus for them today. We can repeat RSO tax here. And then let's say Limmers, the batch size is 1 because it's a piece of equipment. The item value for Stalker hoods is 160. The store fee outside, I've already checked for you before, it's 682 currently. So to make these materials, we can, or the cost of these materials for Stalker hoods, it's up here, 4.2, and then pull this price. So this is 15.4. And you can see that the visor doesn't have a price, so we can check visor. So these are going for about, let's say 950 as an average, because it goes up pretty quickly. So let's say they're going for about 950. How much are we selling these Stalker hoods for? Let's say if you make without any salads or anything, you should probably use the normal as a base value. But if you use salads, you could use good or outstanding as your base value, because salads will increase the quality, but on average that you get. But let's say this is what they're going for, 29,945 or so. And then we can do some Excel or Sheets magic here and just drag and drop these formulas if everything works. These should all update. And as you can see, we have a very, very large profit margin on Stalker hoods 4.2. Because to make one, we would only be spending about 13.5K, and then we can sell them for more than double that price. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment. Please like, subscribe. If I made a mistake, please leave a comment as well. This is very helpful. And I hope I helped you guys get started on your crafting journey. See you in Albion. Cheers.